morning and welcome to the Tennessee Valley Morning Show.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
You. I'm Kay Free, and my co-host with me today is Chris.
Good morning.
Good morning, and it's time for coffee and sit back and enjoy a little bit of show, right?
That's right.
And today our guest will be Joanne
Great local.
and she is the executive director of Keep America Beautiful, and she's going to have some wonderful information for us.
Great information, didn't it?
I know, and you said you could use her services. So
That's
anyway,
right.
we'll talk about that later. And also Dwight Richardson, who is with us with an evening in Cleveland mystery and folklore. I did get that correct. At least I'm close. And he's going to give us some educate me on that subject. And he said it was going to be fun. So don't switch the dial. Just take that remote, lay it over the side, drink your coffee, and we're going to talk a little bit this morning, aren't we? We're going to learn about Cleveland.
That's right. What's going on around here?
I know. I just got in. I've been away for a week, and I was in Austin, Texas, and on training for Keller Williams, and I had a book about that thick, and it was page after page and note after note. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about real estate, about how to run a business, and all those kind of things that we have to do.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Was the food good?
The food was excellent.
Well, you got to have
priorities.
priorities.
Good.
You have to have priorities when you go out of town.
I know, and the place we always go eat is called the Moonshine. And so the Moonshine was great, and I don't eat grits, but they had the most wonderful grits with cheese and green chilies. Of course, you're in Texas, so everything's a little spicy and
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like this kind of chili, this kind of grits that we have around here. Usually
no, I don't like those, but these were phenomenal. And, of course, a little bit of barbecue. And some seafood. And we went to this place that looked like a country store. Mm-hmm. And it had been an old building, I guess, and they'd turned it into this restaurant. And I mean, the brownies were that large. And they had homemade bread and all of the good things that you like, homemade mashed potatoes and all of that. Of course, I ate that.
That sounds good.
I know.
That sounds good.
That's one of the fun things about going to training, is because after training, you get to go eat.
Get to go somewhere good to eat.
It's like a party for a week. It is. You eat and learn, and then you have fun. So we had a great time. Great shopping centers.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So what did you do over the weekend and last week besides take care of business?
Just took care of business. I had some training last Wednesday. Kept me busy with that, and it's kept me busy this week. So lots going on, lots to do with the kids, just all kinds of fun stuff.
Well, let me say thank you for taking care of the real estate business while I was out of town.
Well, they kept me busy.
I know, and I kept you busy, didn't I?
Yes.
Every time I had a break, I was on the phone with him or texting to him or whatever. So if you missed anything from us last week, it's my fault, because I was out of town and I just didn't get the message to him in time. But you did a great job.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate working with you.
Had good training, so that helps out.
Well, good.
That makes all the difference.
Good. And the boys are in sports?
Yes, we just finished up our last soccer game over the weekend, and so awards ceremonies and all that good stuff. So we've had a good time. And let me say, the soccer coaches are great with the Upward program.
Oh.
They had a wonderful time.
The patience they have with those little 4-year-olds
is
they
do great
incredible.
with them. I give them credit. That takes a lot of patience and a lot of commitment.
Just keeping them running toward the correct goal is
that's a challenge enough.
It's a challenge, isn't it?
Yes,
I know
it is.
Ours is out like an airplane with these arms out, and the ball's way over here. He's over on this side of the field.
He's having a good time.
But it's a good sport. It's a good time for him. Also, Madeline is performing in one of the Lee University performances.
She's at Lee University with one of their performances. And
Big River?
Big River is the name of it. Yes, I was trying to remember the name of it, Big River. And that's coming up, and there's quite a few showings. I don't have all the dates yet on those.
I know. I think it starts next week.
It starts next week, and it's for several days. So we're real proud of her. She's doing good in that, and she's enjoyed that. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, isn't life great with children?
It is. It is. It's busy, but at the end of the day, you think, man, I'm tired, but it's great to get
I know,
to
and
see
it's
their
wonderful
activity.
for grandmothers because we send them right back home to you, you know. But Cleveland has a lot to offer for the kids.
They do. They really do. There's a lot for them to do. It sure is.
And
great place.
I know. There's so many things to do and so many places to go. I want to talk to you just a little bit about real estate. before we get started, and then we won't talk about real estate anymore today. But Chris and I both sell. We work together as a team, and we do listings and we work with buyers, and we ask for your business. Service is what we strive to perform for you at the best of our ability and to be prompt and give you all the attention that you possibly need. Tell them about all of our internet work that we do. I'm not very technical, but Chris is, so he takes care of all of that department for me.
We advertise on the internet through our website, there's chrisfreekw.com, and then there's kfree.com. You can come to either one of those, and it leads you to our Facebook, our Twitter, YouTube account. All of those things are on there, and we use all of those sources or resources that are out there to get your house exposed. And majority of the homes, it's in the 90% now, start on the internet. That's where they find your home. That's where they locate them. And they can see the virtual tours that we do. They get to see your home before they even come see your house. I mean, they get a virtual tour of the home, and everything is online, and all the information for the house. And other good resources for that also. There's things about getting pre-qualified, things to do. I think there was one the other day about security for your home that we had on the website. Everybody liked that.
And it was interesting. You put it on there, and I read it, and I was
so there's all
with
kinds of information on there about your home and things you can do around your house. And especially with this fall, I'm getting some posts ready for this fall about things you can do around the house. So it might, like Madeline, we were talking about the kids, she made a real pretty wreath, and a lot of the things she got out of the yard, and the pine cones and things like that. So there's all neat things you can do in the fall for your home to make it look nice and inexpensively.
Well, that's great. And just remember that my number is 718-6967, and Chris?
Mine is 423-961-8095.
And we are here all the time. We work full time to sell your house or to help you purchase a house. And there's just a few tips that we might want to go over today on getting your house ready to show. Make sure that it looks nice, and the front entrance. Clean that entrance up really, really good. Make it look phenomenal from the road, because that's the first impression. And I don't know about you, Chris, but first impressions are always wonderful for me.
That curb appeal when they pull up to see the house makes all the difference in the world. It really does. They can, when they see that house and it looks good, when even before they walk in, they know it maybe the house that they want to purchase.
I know.
And that really makes a big difference.
And go back to the internet, but most of the time people that want to buy, they will call you and say, listen, I've already seen this X amount of number of homes on the internet, and I would like for you to show them to me.
That's right.
We used to have to go search for all of those homes for people. Now they're searching, bringing them to us. And that's what the wonderful thing of the internet. What would we do without it?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm always searching for something on there, whether it's clothes to wear or a recipe to cook or whatever. And if you don't use the internet, you need to, because in every aspect of your life, you'll be able to use that internet and use it properly.
Yes, there's lots of just all kinds of services out there on the internet, and a lot of them are free, which makes it nice.
I know. And when you were small and I had to buy encyclopedias, we had this whole set of books. You know.
Oh.
Now we want. You can't give encyclopedias away. No one wants them. They have them on the internet. Why do you need to buy the book and go search when you can just put it in and search on the internet? So life is much easier, isn't it?
In some ways, yes. It is. It is easier, but it's a trade-off.
It really is. And let me say that I appreciate Cleveland so much for their interest. Their roads and the interstates and how easy it is to get around. I'm telling you, we stayed lost in Austin, Texas more than we were on the right road. I never have seen so many loops in all of my life, and it was a loop. I mean, you had to go around a loop to get to anything. And of course, we were always 4 women. Does that tell you anything? But we found our way around, and one of the ladies with us, I won't mention any names, but she was using her phone for the GPS. Yeah,
GPS, you got it right.
Okay, I'm doing okay this morning. But anyway, she had it on walk, and we were driving, and we kept going further and further away, and and finally she said, you know what, if I put this on drive, we'll get there a lot quicker than we will in walking. So anyway, you have to know what you're doing when you're working with, but we had a lot of fun. And
who did you blame for being lost if there's no men in the car?
we just all blamed it on each other, you know. But at least we would stop and find out.
Oh, well, okay. Okay. I'll give you that.
Men don't stop and ask directions. They just keep going 50 miles down the road, 100. It doesn't matter. They think they're going to find it eventually.
Eventually we do.
Yeah.
That's right. I've got some support out there.
We have an audience today that's agreeing with Chris. Of course, it's a male. But anyway, we had a wonderful, wonderful time. It's
That's
just
great.
always good to get out and get your mind clear. And the fall, the trees are beautiful.
They really are.
If you haven't been out and driven up around the mountains and all,
around
go out
area,
because the
Benton,
colors
all
are
that.
beginning to come in. And as you notice, we do have fall colors today on our set, and we're just pleased that you're looking at us today and talking to us and staying with us. And we're going to come back in just a moment and have our friends on that you're going to want to hear what the information is. So we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back.
Don't go away.
Great local sports right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television. Keep up to date on all your Walker Valley sports news Wednesdays with the Walker Valley Sports Zone. Get a behind-the-scenes look at all the local high school area football with the pregame Thursdays at 10. And it's a Friday night tradition. Football Friday, every Friday night at 11 o'clock, right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat-screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning, and with me I have Dwight Richardson, and he's going to educate us and tell us about, he says, the greatest event that Cleveland ever has had, the evening of Cleveland Mystery and Folklore. So Dwight,
Folklore.
Folklore.
That's close. That's
okay. Now, Dwight, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I want to know about this.
Okay.
So give us some information.
Okay, this is the 5th annual Cleveland Storytelling, and it is just one of the neatest events that downtown has. This is not a haunted house. It's strictly a storytelling event. We have local storytellers. Connie Gatlin is a storyteller. Melissa Woody will be a storyteller. And then we also have the Cleveland Storytelling Guild, our storytellers. This will be downtown at the Bank of Cleveland. Weather permitting, there will be 3 stories in the bank, and there will be 3 stories outside the bank. And with the crunching leaves and the cool weather, it works out perfect outside. Everything is done by candlelight or lantern when you're outside. The thing about this storytelling guild, group is they all donate their time. All proceeds, 100% of the profit, goes to Allied Arts.
Okay.
And Allied Arts, if you know anything about that, they provide arts and education to all of our local schools. We give something over $20,000 in grants each year to the local schools so they can perform whatever, and this money helps go to promote that. If you don't care, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about kind of what's going on this year.
Yeah, I want to know about the whole story.
Okay. This started as a fundraiser, really, for Caring Place. It was our first couple of years we did this. And we just want to give people an alternative to not a haunted house. They're fine. They're a lot of fun. But this is it's a more of a family-oriented thing. Even though it's not a haunted house, we don't recommend children under 5 to go. Only because when you're in the midst of this big story and everything is quiet and you got everything, if a kid starts crying or whatever, it kind of breaks the mood. And there's nothing scary for them, but I think it'd be less appropriate for that age group. The Chamber has this booklet here called A Walking Tour. This is where we started getting our information from, and some of the homes that we used at the businesses. So this is a free brochure you can get at the Chamber if you ever want to do that.
Okay.
This year, this will be October 29th and 30th, which is Monday and Tuesday before Halloween. Time will be 6 o'clock to 8:30. The last tour goes at 8:30 because it's about a 40-minute tour. And tickets are $10 for an adult and $5 for students, and it's well worth it. This year, Connie Gatlin will be telling a story about a train track light that she personally witnessed as a teenager. And I won't tell you a whole lot about that story because I don't want to tell you, but it's a true story of her and a group of girls and this folklore about this light, this man with a lantern trying to find, I can't remember if his head or body part, something about, he was trying to find something that he had got killed on the train tracks, and she actually saw this light, and of course it scared them. They hauled off down the road. She'll be telling that story. That story will also be in the basement of the Bank of Cleveland. If you've never been in the basement of the Bank of Cleveland, you got several stairs. You go down this corridor that's wooded and dimly lit and concrete, and they have stored all of these things down there. It's dusty, it's gritty on the floor, and it is a perfect storytelling area for any kind of story. And they've got a lot of furniture piled down there, a lot of their records, their boxes, and we have just a little area that everybody goes to, and you don't have to stand up. We have seats pretty much everywhere you go. So, if you haven't been there, it's worth going in the basement of the Bank of Cleveland to see that.
Okay, let me ask you a question real quick before we go to the next one. Now, when you go through this tour, do you go to each one of the storytelling? There's a
yes, we
process
have a guide.
that you go
yes,
through.
We have a tour guide that will lead you by lantern, and they will take you to the first story. Then once that's done, you will go to the next storyteller. Yeah, it's a little process. We've got 3 or 4 going on at the same time.
Okay.
Sometimes you meet each other, sometimes you don't. But we can't get everybody through there. We'll sometimes put 150 people a night through that story. That's a lot of people. Groups, unless it's just a massive turnout, will be 15 to 20 people for groups. So it's a good sized group. Maureen Olin, who is with the Storytelling Guild this year, will be talking about the Woman in Black. I don't know if you've heard of that story, but that's a true story of a lady that dressed completely in black from head to toe, with the exception of yellow work gloves. She toured the streets of Cleveland following people, and this was a real person that was in the downtown area of Cleveland called the Woman in Black. That's a good little story.
Now, was that recently?
No, that was back in 1800.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, did you see somebody you think?
I thought I saw somebody the other day. I just didn't want to make, I just want to make sure.
Well, you never know,
Okay,
I'm telling you.
okay.
This could be a copycat person. Pete Vanderpool will be talking about bloodstains at the mausoleum. That story will be actually at the mausoleum there, the Craig Mile Mausoleum. Okay. It's a gripping story, and it's we've told the story several different ways. This year it will be a first-person story about him as the grandfather. Last year, Mary Nolan told the story from a mother standpoint. This year it's going to be from the grandfather. So it's a great story.
He does a good job, Hill.
People love that every year, and we have to have it back. Last year we got in trouble because we dropped the Stamper Ghost because we thought people were tired of hearing the Stamper story. Well, they weren't tired of hearing the Stamper story. They let us know it. So we're bringing back the Stamper Ghost, which is a true story about the Kennedy family who used to, several years ago, I think in the 60s or 70s, that were furniture haulers there at the Stampers, and they had 2 or 3 times saw a young girl appear and then go through the wall there on the mezzanine level at Stamper's store. You know, that's if you've been in Stampers, you know, that's kind of spooky up there. Those floors kind of creak and stuff too.
You sort of get lost up there sometimes.
You kind of get lost up there, but you got to buy furniture to go in there. But anyway, Judy will be telling a story there this year, Judy Baker, and I won't tell you all about it, but there will be an illusion that you don't want to miss on that story. Melissa Woody's going to be telling a story about her Uncle Letch. This is a true story. When her Uncle Letch was a kid, lived in the Rott House, which is that 3-story house near Magic Chef, kind of back in the trees. Julius Rott, that was his home, and he was the richest man in Tennessee at the time. He owned the copper mills in Copper Hill, and so he was a very wealthy man. This is his house. When Melissa's uncle lived there, there was a counterfeiter made coins upstairs, and this story is a true story about these counterfeit coins in Cleveland and the casket company. So I don't know if you know, we used to have a casket company in Cleveland.
I was not aware of that.
We had a casket company just right down by the railroad tracks there, which was quite a business in its time. Also this year, Deborah Holland, her name I went up my head there, Deborah Holland and Sylvia Idem are going to team up and tell a World War story, a Civil War story about some buttons. I can't tell you all about this because I get confused on this story. I just know that there was a young gentleman that was 14 years old that ran away from home to join the military and fight. He was so small and they did not have any uniform for him, so he wrote back, and that's the only way his mother knew where he was, because he absolutely ran off home, and it was weeks before she heard from him. So she sewed him a uniform with certain kind of buttons from a different war that didn't have anything to do with that war. That's all she had. And I'm not going to tell you any more about that story, but it was amazing how these buttons turn around and come back around years later to fit in her hand. And it's a very moving story from a mother's standpoint, and people love Civil War stories. Let's see, what was said here? I think that was it. There's 6 stories, 3 inside and 3 outside. The thing about this story also, at the end, we have a collection of book that we tell these stories, and I'm going to give you this book. It's last year's book, but it's nice. So last year we told about the Charleston Ghost. That's a true story. The McCleary home there, Dr. Brasmore was a doctor in that home. There was a train wreck in 1967 due to the flood. A young monk helped a lot of people be rescued, took them to Dr. Brasmore's area, and all of a sudden he disappeared. Nobody ever knew about it. He did not make it to his place there in Boston. And many years later, when they were raising that house and remodeling, when they were tearing down the walls, they found the monk outfit inside the wall of Dr. Brasmore's house. So, you know, that's a true story. Wow. The monk was actually there. So we don't know what happened to the monk, why the monk's clothes are in there, but they told that story last year. It's good. It's a good little book. The proceeds from this book also go to the Allied Arts, and I want to give you that. It's a fun little book to have.
No,
Chris, I'm sorry I don't have one for you.
That's all right.
But I will share.
Okay, so that's a gist of kind of what it is. It's just a fun evening. We do ask that you purchase a ticket in advance if you can. That gives us a judge of how many come, because if you purchase a ticket early and you get there about 7:30, you may have to wait an hour before we can get you in. There's so many people. So if we got a ticket, we can usher you on in there and get it done. Tickets are 10, students are 5. That's Monday and Tuesday of next week at the Bank of Cleveland downtown. Starts at 6 o'clock.
Okay, and you say it takes about 45
minutes? Takes about 40 to 45 minutes, yes.
So they're quick stories.
They're quick
not
stories.
Something that's going to take a long time.
No, you're going to move. You're going to be
you've got my curiosity going right now with all this, just enough of what you've given.
It really is a great time. It really is. And,
well, I can imagine.
And I promise
if you'll
like
go. haunted houses. Yeah. I'm not into that. But
no one's going to jump out and scare you. Okay. Nobody's going to stab you.
Well, at my age, I have to be kind of careful about that.
Nobody's going to stab you. It's just history and mystery. And that's the best part about it. And there's a lot of history in Cleveland, Tennessee. There
surely is. And in so many areas, there's history in Cleveland. There's something new every day.
Yeah.
Do you not find that? I mean, I just find out every day. And not only that, we're all related.
Yeah.
I bet if we go down the tree somewhere, we're going to find a relative.
Well, the thing about these stories also, I don't know how much time we've got left here, but
we've got a few more minutes.
The thing about these stories is they are told by professional storytellers, and they do such a great job. The voice inflection and, of course, the dimly lit room, you're all in there and you're just tied into what they're saying. And last year we told a story in here about a true story about a vampire sighting in Charleston. And the road crew from Charleston was in the middle was on a crossroads, and that's where they always would bury vampires in a crossroad because their spirit didn't know which way to go, was supposedly what it was. And as they were tearing up this road, they did find a coffin of a lady with a wooden stake in her heart in the middle of that road, and that's a true story that we told last year about a vampire. So.
Okay, do you believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
I believe there are spirits. I don't know that I actually believe in ghosts, but I believe there are spirits.
Well, there was a house up in, I won't tell where, but out of the city, and they called about listing the house, and I didn't take it, but another agent in the office took the listing, and when they arrived, the lady told her, said, now we've gotten rid of all the ghosts in the house. Said there used to be ghosts here, and on the fainting sofa over here, the fainting couch, that's where this woman died, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, we were laughing about it the other day about, she had said all the ghosts, said you don't need to put that in the information, that we, but all the ghosts are out.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
that's amazing.
Okay, I don't know that I want to list that house if it's full of ghosts, But there's people that say there's ghosts. I'm not.
I can't say there is or there isn't. I believe there are spirits out there, but I don't know about an actual ghost or not. The thing about the Stamper ghost is this was a little girl, and I don't know if you know where Stampers are, is next to it there in a couple of buildings over. See, that was once a doctor's office, and then it was also a funeral home. So this ghost, they think, was from either the doctor's office that died or from the funeral home era.
Okay, and then there was a hospital up there somewhere,
too. Speck Hospital is directly behind Bank of Cleveland, where the parking lot
I knew it was in there. I can recall that.
A lot of people in Cleveland were at Speck Hospital.
Yeah, I remember that. Listen, I know our time is up. You have been most interesting. I'm looking forward to an evening of Cleveland mystery and folklore. I can never say that correctly. But anyway,
that's all right.
You're going to be treated with this, and you're going to have an exciting night. $10 for adults, $5 for the children, and it's going to a great cause.
Allied Arts.
Allied Arts, and thank you, Dwight.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking time out of your day. And he's wonderful with the florist also. So you want to say just a real quick commercial?
This came from Fenimore's Florist, by the way. I was here last week.
Yeah.
And, no, anything you need in the floral line, I'll be happy to help you out. I'm at Market Center on Paul Huff and Georgetown Road.
Great to work with. Thank you.
Thank you.
And don't turn the channel because we'll be right back.
Right back.
Thanks.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Hello, I'm Bill Odom.
Hi, and I'm Tammy Odom.
We want to invite you to join us on Joyous Living Today for interviews, testimonies, and gospel music by special guests and Dixie Sunshine.
Right here on WTNB, Sundays at 4 p.m. and Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Hi there, and welcome back to Good Morning Tennessee Valley. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
I got it right this time. All right, I'm doing good. And we're here with Miss Joanne Maskew. Make sure I get that correct. I can tear up a name pretty easily. So, and she is with the household. Well, you tell me who you're with. Make sure I get that right, also.
Okay, I'm the executive director of the Keep America Beautiful program for Cleveland Bradley County.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And what have we got coming up? We've got an event coming up?
Oh, yeah. We have a Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day, which we're excited about because...
Now, that doesn't include your children, does it?
Oh, no.
I just want to make that clear.
Let's see, children, grandchildren, let me think about that.
Here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interfere.
You're fine. But it's a great way for household, local residents to dispose of things properly. Okay. And that's what we want them to do. We want them to make sure that they dispose of the various things that I'll talk about later in the proper manner.
Okay.
So,
and when is this going to be?
Okay, it will be at Tri-State Exhibition on Saturday, October the 27th. From 8 to 1, and that's exit 20. That would be the first exit coming from Cleveland or the third exit going toward Chattanooga.
That's past the theater there.
Absolutely.
Go on past that.
Yeah, we call the fairgrounds sometimes.
Yes, you go through the four-way stop, just like you're going toward the landfill.
Okay.
Yes.
And you have some things to tell us how to package everything.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
To be efficiently out quickly.
The great thing about it is it's free.
That doesn't cost,
actually your tax dollars at work. To be honest with you, people like to hear that, but it's from the tipping fees that people pay when they go across. So there's no charge for this. What's really unique this year is it will be the second event we've had this year.
Well, I remember they talked about having one earlier this year, so
yes,
our second
we had
one
in the spring of the year, and at that time we did a survey, and we had local residents said, I wish I would have another one in the fall of the year. And so Cheryl Dunson with Santec Waste Services, bless her heart, went and met with our county mayor, Gary Davis, and they came to an agreement, and Cheryl got everything ready for us to go, and she does amazing things throughout the community.
Yes, she does.
But she knows how important this is to our community. So, you know, we want to let people know about that. We are asking everyone to please package whatever that you are bringing, either in a bag or preferably in a box. In the spring of the year, we had people that they just stacked it in the back of their vehicles, and it may be a pickup truck, it may be an automobile in the trunk, maybe an SUV in the back, and some of the items spilt out
You don't want
into the vehicle. And so that's, I don't know how some of the stuff you could get out, to be honest,
and it
out of the carpet.
Longer for you all also, doesn't
It does.
ties up a
It
lot of your
takes us
time.
a long time to unload, and then too for the people to sort through it. It just makes it a lot easier if it's bagged or it's boxed. And so we ask you to do that. We also ask you, please do not bring any empty paint cans. We get a lot of those, and we still have to pay for that, you know. And so we want people to know that your empty paint cans can go in your garbage.
Yes.
Okay? It is not lead paint like it used to be years ago. And so we talked to the people at the state, and they were like, absolutely, it can be put in there. If you have a small amount of paint in a paint can, get you some cheap cat litter. Put that in there, it will absorb it.
Okay.
Once the liquids are not coming out anymore, you can put that in the trash.
They recommended, well, especially this time of year, putting old leaves and pine needles and things in there, and it'll absorb it up.
Absolutely.
So you can just stuff that full in there. They told me that when I had some at the house. They said, empty out your paint and put in that, and that'll, once you get, if you're having an empty paint can, to put that in there, and that'll keep it, dry up any of the other and soak it up.
Sure.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, cat litter, and I'm like, it does amazing things.
We don't have time to go into that today.
No, we do.
Over there. That's
a whole
That's
nother
another
program. And we want people to know that waste oil and batteries are accepted at the landfill year-round. So you can take that out there anytime. The things that we will take at the event are paints, pesticides, solvents, fluorescent light bulbs. I get tons of calls about those. Pool chemicals, fertilizers, varnishes, stains, outdated or unused medication, automobile or marine products. And this event is for Bradley County residents only, because in the past we have allowed other communities or other counties to come. Every now and then, if the word gets out, that you may have one or two, but we really would prefer to have nothing but the residents, since our county government is so generous to allow us to do this.
And they pay for this.
Yes,
They pay for all of this land, putting it in the landfill.
And it cost a little over $50,000 just from 8 in the morning to 1 that day. I mean, it is very expensive. We ask that no businesses, we do not want any businesses bringing anything to this. This is strictly for households. And we really do not want any ammunition or explosives.
No, that wouldn't go over well over the landfill, would it?
No, I don't think so. Okay. I'd rather you take that to the police department or the sheriff's department. Let law enforcement do that.
Handle that for us, right?
Absolutely. And I also want to let everybody know that there are other things that you can dispose of year-round besides your oil and besides your batteries. There are electronics, okay, and that you can dispose or recycle out at your different drop-off centers. Your electronics are on Peerless. They will accept those there. And that is, your computers, your printers, and not TVs. The good thing about this, they will accept TVs at this.
Oh, okay.
So if you have a bunch of the big monstrosity TVs and you laugh, but it was amazing in the spring how many we really received, and computers and things like that. If you'll just take a magnet and run it around on your computer, your hard drive and stuff, it'll erase it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do not know that. But yes, we want to make sure people know that. And the sponsors for the event, which we're thrilled to death about, are Bradley County Mayor's Office, Santec Waste Services, yes, Cleveland Utilities, KAB, and Tri-State Exhibition. And everybody wants to know, how do you get the word out? Thanks to Cleveland Utilities, there are like over 34,000 flyers that go out in your utility bills, plus the media. And we're constantly sending stuff to the local newspapers and radio stations and everything, trying to get the message out there because we want everybody to be able to participate in this.
And there won't be another one till next spring.
That's
so you
right.
need to get it cleaned out before the winter months and get it out and get it over there to you all. It doesn't cost a penny.
Nothing. Nothing.
And what else can you ask for? I mean, we all have it in our garages.
Oh, we do. We do. And if you're...
Some of us more than others.
Well, and if you're selling a home.
Yes.
Or if you're buying a home, relocating or whatever, this is a great opportunity.
That's a great way to get rid of those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Joanne, I'm gonna break for just
sure,
a moment
absolutely.
for a commercial, and we'll be right back because we're going to give you a little bit more information on this very, very, very interesting subject and something that will do you well. So we'll be right back.
Great local sports right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television. Keep up to date on all your Walker Valley sports news Wednesdays with the Walker Valley Sports Zone. Get a behind-the-scenes look at all the local high school area football with the pregame Thursdays at 10. And it's a Friday night tradition. Football Friday, every Friday night at 11 o'clock, right here on WTNB East Tennessee Television.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Featuring some of the South's most scenic views, the Mountain View Inn has been a landmark in the Cleveland community for over 40 years. Our executive guest quarters with flat screen TVs and excellent bedding will make any guest comfortable. Carrie's Restaurant is one of Cleveland's favorite, with one of the best buffets around.
Hello, and on behalf of the Hughes family, thank you for so many years of your business and your friendship.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
Hey, welcome back, and we're going to continue our conversation with Joanne and with Keep America Beautiful and the hazard waste that they're doing for the county October 27th.
That's
right?
Correct.
And so we're going to continue with that, and we left off with what we can take, what we can't take, and what you need. So let's just finish out this conversation.
Okay, all right. And the main thing that I want to stress too is the benefit of this event. And it eliminates items from being disposed of irresponsibly, keeps chemicals from seeping into our groundwater, which is very important for all of us, being illegally dumped on vacant property, and protects our wildlife. And selling real estate, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, there's some really nice areas that you go into and that, you know, there'll be one piece of property
that looks really, really bad.
That looks bad.
It does.
And, you know, it affects the whole neighborhood, and a lot of people do not understand, you know, how illegal dumping or just putting stuff or collecting it on your deck. It amazes me.
Or in the yard. It amazes me
yard.
how many people just collect and leave it sit in the yard, and you go to show these nice homes, and then you've got this piece over here that is just an eyesore.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But in the city and in the county, to eliminate those, if there is a problem, you can contact my office, report it to me, and I'll work with the Bradley County Environmental Officer and the city codes people.
Okay.
So, and that way the property owners, and it may be in foreclosure, I mean, there may be a lot of reasons why the property is in the condition it's in, but these people can contact the right person and get this cleaned up, which is great. And that even includes high grass in the city. And a lot of people do not know that.
I've heard a few people that found out about it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We had some in our office that the agents received calls about properties that had high grass and were fined.
Yes, and the reason, if you go through the codes people or the environmental person, what's good, if you work with them over a certain period of time, it keeps you from having to go to environmental court, Judge Swafford, and they will fine you big time, plus court cost, and they can go back to the original date when you were notified. So, you know, I mean, there are some consequences to not living up to certain
just taking
standards
care of
in
your
our
property.
community. Absolutely, and I think that's very, very important.
Well, it just
for our
protects the other property owners, and keeping their properties clean and neat and nice. And a lot of times people are out of town.
That's true.
They move away, the house is sitting there, and it's just there.
That's
they
true.
don't have it taken care of. So if you're going to move or you're leaving town, make sure you contact someone that takes care of your land and your property, keep it mowed, keep it cleaned off. It just helps the area. And then if you're going to sell your house, it looks nice from curbside, and it will sell better.
Absolutely. And two, if you'll make sure your newspapers, your mail,
that's right,
those kind of things are picked up, it will keep vandalism down too. And usually if there's one easy target in the neighborhood, then it can go through the whole neighborhood.
And this is the time of year when that begins,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
I know. I was listening to something where we're off the subject, but anyway, someone the other night at the ball game, cars were broken into and purses stolen, their phones and everything. And you know, don't leave your purse in your car. I'm not the police.
Do not leave anything of value.
No. But back to the hazardous waste. What I'm always concerned about also is when that's left around, if you have children.
Absolutely.
You know, it's such a dangerous thing for children, and they don't know. They're curious. They're going to get in there. They're going to find out what it is. And that's one of the first things I think about.
Well, that, or it could be a dog, a
cat.
Your pet.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. It could even be a pet, you know. If something is down low enough, you know, they're curious. And, yeah, absolutely. You need to, and people do not know this, but a lot of people do not, but even the flea collars, they're classified as hazardous waste collection.
Oh, wow.
So they can go in this?
So they can go in this also, yes, to be disposed of.
Okay.
So,
Now, Joanne, how long have you been doing this?
I have been the executive director for 12 years.
Okay.
But I've actually been involved in Keep America Beautiful. It started when I was at Bowater in public relations. And Jim Brough, which y'all probably know who I'm talking about, he's passed on now, but I worked under his direction, and he said, this is what you need to do. And so I became a member of KAB representing Bowater, and then ended up serving on the board and everything. So I've actually been involved in it probably about 18 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and it's been in existence here in this community for about 21 years. So,
are you government funded? Are you funded? How are you funded?
Okay, we are a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
But the city and the county make donations to our program once a year when they do their budget. Then we do other fundraisers. We have like a membership drive that we do. We have recently we had a big flea market at the Old American Uniform, and those types of monies go toward our environmental education program, where we actually go into the schools and work with pre-K all the way up. So, and we're very involved in the schools, because we feel like when you start with your pre-K through third graders and start with them, that's where it takes off. So
it's that foundation.
Yes, yes. And I always say that I think it was law enforcement that went to kindergarten and first graders about the seat belts. So what do? We all wear seat belts, because this child came home and said, you know, this is the way it has to be. And then the environment is the same way. And it's very interesting, really, how much the students know, even the younger ones. If you'll say, do you know anything about recycling? And basically, that's what hazardous waste is.
It's just recycling.
It's absolutely, it's recycling. Because these will go in, a lot of these will be used for other products. Okay. So, which would be great, yes.
And Santex has been very, very good with you. Santex has, haven't they? And Cheryl working with it.
Yes.
I know. She's the first one I contacted, and we were talking about it at Rotary.
Yes.
And that's when I thought, well, this is the time to have them on, and let's go back over this program. And I had to learn about it, because I didn't know very much about all the recycling and what you do and why we do so much of it. And it's just most interesting, and I think it's a phenomenal thing for you all to work, and for the county, Gary Davis and Santec and our other people, the utility board and all of these. Plus you have a lot of volunteers, right?
Absolutely.
That work with this program in order to make it successful and get it all completed in the hours that you're going to work.
Absolutely. Plus we have a lot of students that might need hours for scholarships. So they need volunteer hours in order to qualify for certain scholarships.
Okay.
So
do you still need volunteers?
Always need
Give
volunteers.
them a phone number where they can reach you, Joanne.
Okay, at the Keep America Beautiful, 559-3307.
559-3307.
Yes.
And ask for you, or talk to anyone that answers the phone?
Just anyone that answers the phone.
18 and over? Do you need younger kids?
They can be any age.
Any age, okay.
Yes.
There gives you some time. I know the school children also have to have some volunteer hours and service hours, so this would be a great place for them to come and help, and probably have a lot of fun.
Oh, you really do.
Get to meet so many people and have fun. I always enjoy those programs when I volunteer, because we have more fun than we do work.
That's true.
We work, but it's fun.
That's true.
The hours pass very quickly.
They do, and we work a lot with other organizations like Main Street. We will help them this year also, just like we have in the past, with the Halloween block party. We work with Mars and help distribute the candy and stuff, and the kids love to do that. The students and the local high schools, they love to do that. They help us do the greenway cleanup when we do those kind of things. And that's amazing, the things that you find in Mouse Creek there on the Greenway, down in the water. It's amazing.
Well, it's probably like that all over the city.
It
is amazing what people will throw out and don't think anything about littering.
That's
true. You know, we all have become so self-conscious of littering and not throwing things out of our car. When I see someone do that, it's almost like they have a gun pointing at you or something. I'm thinking, you don't do that. You're not supposed to do that. You know,
That's
we've
right.
been taught not to litter.
And what's bad, people do not realize that the wind and the rain makes
Carry
it
it.
travel.
Yes.
See, they think it stays in the one spot. It doesn't stay in the one spot.
Well, you
It
know
goes
what? This
everywhere.
has been a fun day today, and we've learned about Cleveland and mystery and the storytelling that's going to be for this month. And then we've learned how to get rid of all of our hazardous material at our home free of charge. And let me say thank you, and thank the volunteers, and thank the county and the utility company for making this available to all of us. And it's useful for everyone.
Absolutely.
We would have to pay dearly if we take
Absolutely.
it out, if we don't use this one day, the 27th of October, from 9 to 1.
From 8 to
8
1.
to 1. 8 to 1 o'clock, and my understanding is at 1 o'clock it cuts off.
It cuts off.
So you need to get there early. You need to package it well, and you need to get there and be patient, because there you may be backed up a little bit with people unloading the car and getting it for you and all. But you will not be sorry that you spent the time to get it out of your house. I think, Chris, you said that you had some
I've got a
things
few
you were
things.
leaving.
I'm glad they're having another
Great.
one. I've got a few things that
Great.
I was afraid I have to wait till next spring. So this helps me out.
I know.
Great.
But it's been fun having you here today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
I've learned a lot. and it's always good to have all this information. And the place to get it, tune in every morning, the morning show. There's always some good information coming your way about Cleveland, about Bradley County, what's going on, what we do that a lot of times we don't realize what's being done, because I sit in a world by myself sometimes in working, and I think most of us get that way and don't get out. But we have several in Rotary that work with you and help in this Keep America Beautiful. And America's wonderful. We can go to other countries and come back. Don't we appreciate America?
Absolutely.
And so let's keep it clean. Let's keep everything going. Chris, it's been great having you here again today.
Been a great show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
And
everything.
give me some last words you want to leave with.
Some last words? Wow.
Yes.
What a great place this is. We do, I mean, it's Keep America Beautiful, but we have a beautiful town here, Cleveland. And if you are, our city, it's bigger than a town now, isn't it? It's grown over the past few years, but just a great place to live.
I know when I first came here, I think the license plate was 17. Do you recall back years and years ago? I came back in the Ark, but they had the number of your city was on the license tag, and we were number 17 or something like that, and or maybe 19, and then it started. Then they got out of all of that. So, but I've been here a long time, since 1959.
Oh.
So I've been here, I've been in and out a lot, but about 36, 37 years this last time we've lived here. So are you from here originally?
Not originally. I'm from Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Okay, well, I'm from West Virginia, but I came to Lee. And you find a husband and you kind of land, you know, in Cleveland. He was from here. But anyway, thank you, Joanne. I appreciate so much your time today. You've given us some valuable information, and we appreciate you being with us. And listen in the morning, and same time, same station, and they'll be here. I won't be here a lot of times, but the others will be here, and we will see you then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.